If you choose to watch this video, you should know that some of these lakes have been the cause of human sacrifice, suicide, and death. And no, we didn't include the Loch Ness lake and the monster that supposedly lives in it. Instead, we have lakes that could cause kidney failure if you so much as take a little sip of the water. Or, for those of you who like ashes and mummies, we have a lake that can probably mummify any living organism that comes in contact with the water, birds and insects being its usual prey. These lakes are as mesmerizing as they are deadly, but don't let their natural beauty fool you into thinking that the lake is swimmable. Any contact with them could be your last. So, are you ready to find out what are the 10 most horrifying, mysterious lakes in the world? Let's dive right in, shall we? Number 10. Lake Nyos. Oh, we start our list pretty strong today. Why, you ask? Because this lake managed to kill 1,746 people in around 30 minutes. Plus, the 3,500 livestock that were situated near the lake all perished. What caused the major death of so many people and cattle? It was the huge cloud of CO2 that was emitted on August 21st, 1986 in northwest Cameroon in Africa. The population immediately suffocated in the cloud of CO2 that had risen from the lake and polluted the air. The cause of this outbreak, scientists believe, was an eruption by an underground volcano that released vast quantities of carbon dioxide into the air. There are geologists that believe the eruption of gas was caused by a landslide or an earthquake, but none of the eyewitnesses reported any shaking of the ground beforehand. Since the cataclysmic disaster, the authorities have installed a degassing system to reduce the next CO2 disaster, which might occur at any moment. Number 9. Tall Lake. This one is a particular sight for sore eyes, but as we said, don't be fooled by the beauty of these lakes. Taal is one of the 3 biggest lakes in the Philippines, and the volcanic crater was formed some 500,000 years ago. This is a lake which is inside a volcano, which has another volcano inside. With a lake inside and in the middle of that lake, there's a little island. So what could be so devastating and horrifying about it? How about the fact that in 1911, approximately 1,300 people lost their lives during the volcanic eruption from inside the lake? Tsunamis swept the coasts near the lake, and the land was destroyed. Taal is one of the most carefully monitored seismic locations in the Philippines, but does it stop people from building houses near it? Hell no! The real estate market seems to be booming. During the volcanic eruption at the beginning of this year, the authorities acted fast and evacuated the population. Number 8. Khawah Ijen. And now we go to Indonesia, where you have the world's largest sulfuric acid lake with a pH of 0.5. What does that mean? Well, if you put a can of Coke into the lake, you can hear it sizzling like a strip of bacon on a hot skillet. These lakes were formed by the sulfuric mines located on the 3 volcanoes. The lake has been formed on one of them, and it's completely uninhabited by wildlife. This lake is the source for the Banyu Pahit River, which devastates the ecosystem in the river as well. There is one man, George Corunas, who dared take a rubber boat across the lake, where he measured the pH level of the water, and turns out, it's lower than 0.13. Number 7. Blue Lake. The lake that is inhabited by a dragon at its very bottom. It's also considered as the bottomless lake by some due to its undiscovered depth. Many expeditions have been made to uncover the actual depth of Blue Lake, but no one has managed to do so because the pressure difference is around 20 atmospheres, 20 ATM. World diving expeditions have been made in the belly of this lake, but most of them ended in tragedy. Andrei Rodionov lost his life during the expedition, and Martin Robson had to fight for his life after making a 685-foot dive and surfacing too fast, suffering from what's known as decompression sickness. The lake holds one of the richest underwater cave complexes and is uninhabited by fish due to the high concentration of hydrogen sulfide that gives it its rotten smell. One peculiar thing to know about the Blue Lake is that it has a constant temperature of 9 degrees Celsius. Number 6. Boiling Lake, Dominica. This lake is, believe it or not, a World Heritage Site on the island of Dominica. It's the world's second largest hot lake, with temperatures reaching from around 180 degrees Fahrenheit to around 230 degrees Fahrenheit, where the water is the hottest. This is caused by the fact that the lake is located on top of a volcano, which is active on the inside, and the temperature of the hot lava heats up the water to a rolling boil. So, how hot is it? Let's just say that every living organism that comes in contact with it dies after a few seconds of exposure to the heat. If you manage to dip your hand inside of it, you'll be the jolly recipient of second or third degree burns after a few seconds. The lake is particularly small and barely accessible. To go to the lake, you'll need to take an 8-mile hike from the nearest road. And when you get there, the heat of the air will cause you to actually feel your lungs. The scalding temperature will incessantly be heating you up until it becomes unbearable, and the only thing you want to do is get out of there. Number 5. Brea Lake. Who said a lake had to be filled with water? The pitch lake is made from a black, gooey substance that was first discovered by Sir Walter Raleigh in the 16th century. Located in La Brea, Trinidad, the pitch lake is home to around 10 million tons of asphalt, the largest natural deposit of asphalt in the world. People wanted to see what natural asphalt looks like, so they've been coming to the pitch lake. It's particularly interesting because tourists can walk on its surface and feel their feet slightly sink into the pitch. But watch your step, and please go with a guide. One little mishap could plop you into the gooey pitch basins that have not yet hardened. Good luck getting out of there. Number 4. Lake Hillier. Lake Hillier has become famous for its distinct pink color, which very much resembles a pack of Bubblicious. Again, looks can be deceiving. It's located on the edge of the middle island and inhabited only by one type of algae, Dulelena salina. This is due to the high percentage of salt present in the water, making it a living hell for other sea life. The algae feed on sunlight, absorbing every color from the sun's spectrum, except for red. The reflection of the color gives it its distinct color. So why is the lake particularly deadly? Because of the very microorganisms that live inside of it. It cannot harm human skin, but beware, one little sip of this deadly red algae soup can cause immediate kidney failure. Number 3. Lake Natron, Tanzania. If you've heard about those birds and bats that were turned to stone, this is where it all happened. But it was later revealed that the photographer staged these photos, so that rumor is actually false. However, due to the high water evaporation, which leaves behind natron and trona, the water is extremely salty and rarely inhabited by other life forms. The distinctive red color is derived from the red photosynthetic algae. When the evaporation of the water is high, the salt cracks and forms an interesting pattern. Lake Natron is also the breeding ground for around 2.5 million flamingos. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by one of our subscribers. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it on over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. Boiling Lake. Almost in the center of the Morne Piton National Park, which is in the southeast of the Caribbean island of Dominica, is one of the strangest points on the planet. There is a boiling lake whose huge gray fumarole attracts many of the tourists to the spot. At 200 feet wide, the boiling lake is considered the second largest spring in the world, second only to the frying pan of New Zealand. But this one is so mysterious that not much has been known about it yet. Yet it attracts a lot of tourists. This boiling lake condition is due to the fact that it's a hydrothermal volcano, and along with other geysers in the area, give fame to the nearby Desolation Valley, one of the most easily explored volcanic areas in the Caribbean. The sulfurous gases of the boiling lake, the vapors of the springs, and the jungle-like landscape of the park give the place a typical atmosphere of mystery. Due to its unique characteristics, the Morne-Trois Pitons National Park was declared a World Heritage Site in 1997. And rightly so. Number 1. Lake Kivu. Do you remember the first lake we talked about, and how it killed more than 1,500 people that lived close to it due to the 75-foot tsunami created by the buildup of CO2 erupting from beneath the surface of the lake, and the cloud of CO2 that suffocated everything in a 16-mile diameter? Well, imagine this happening again, but on a much larger scale. Lake Nyos has a surface of around 390 acres, but Lake Kivu has a surface of around 641,000 acres and a surrounding population of around 2 million, living right on the coast. That's not the scary part either. What's terrifying about Lake Kivu is that the Rwandan government has no definitive answer about how to fix the problem. Imagine living near a ticking time bomb that could kill 2 million people at any moment. That's our list, guys. Do you know about other deadly lakes that exist in the world? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any upload. As always, thanks for watching.